Alright, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your Maestro Jun. Just to follow up on the first topic that we have discussed, I will continue my discussion this day, which is still all about the ROTC, or the Reserve Officer Training Corps. Okay, so now we will discuss on the things that could again add into your thoughts or ideas regarding military or uniformed personnel. We will discuss this afternoon the military courtesy and the discipline. Of course, we have different discipline, we have different courtesies. Before we go further, just to give you an idea, when we were young, our first teachers, mentors on the discipline and courtesy is our parents. Okay, not only parents, we have tito, tita, we have lolo, lola, and of course, if you go out there, you have your friends, you have your, if you are a goer of church, the pastor, the ministro, or the pare, and other. Now, I know that they have taught some discipline and courtesy, of course, in you, embed on you, and it is even in you today. But what we will discuss this afternoon is the military courtesy, which is might be different, or it has something relationship with the courtesy in our houses or the discipline in our houses, with this discipline in the military. But of course, military is different from civilian life. Military life is different from civilian life. So we expect that we have different disciplines, different courtesy. Well, just to give you an idea, in other countries, when they ask or when they call their parents, they just call them with their first name. In the Philippines, we always call them mama, papa, nanay, tatay, and so on. In other places, they have the magalang bow, like for example in Japan, they are bowing. In the Philippines, we don't do that, but we have the mano. We sometimes have that mano with our elderly relatives, or even away from us, away or far relative to us. Sometimes we have that mano when we see each other. Okay, now that is just an introduction on the topic military courtesy and the discipline. What is really military courtesy? Why is it different from the other courtesies or the civilian courtesy? Well, we know that military is a different organization, that sometimes it has traditions or culture that is really different to civilian. So only those in military sometimes will understand. The civilian might say, wow, what is this? This is really different. Well, it's really different. Why? Because military is different from civilian. Now we will discuss on what is really military courtesy. Military courtesy, as per definition, it is it pertains really to the relationship between juniors and seniors. If we say junior senior, we are referring to the junior officer or the lower officer, and to that senior officer, okay, or young and old, okay, young and old. Now, it really includes also the essential element of full and proper appreciation of the rights of others. And it includes special acts ceremonial procedures that sometimes describe uh, regulations. Okay. Now, example of military courtesy. Well, uh, I will discuss the military courtesy with the use of examples so that you people, my viewer or viewers, could relate on it. In military, we have the so-called addressing. Okay, you address the person into the proper address. Like for example, if the person whom you are talking with is a colonel, you address him as a colonel or you address him as a sir. Okay, if he is a lieutenant, you address him as a lieutenant, major, captain, general, something like that. So that is one way of courtesy. If you talk to other, you address him the right address. What if you talk to a person who is not a captain but he is a master sergeant and then you address him as a captain? Is that a courtesy? No, because you are addressing him the wrong address. That is not courtesy in a military. You might be entangled with a problem if you address the person in a wrong address. That is disrespectful. Now, in courtesy, as I said while back, it pertains to the good relationship with the junior and senior. So now, if we talk about relationship in the military, they are really having the tight relationship. Why? Because of the custom and traditions. Do you know that even a person is older but lower in rank and the boss or the higher officer is younger and the rank is higher, the person who is older but having lower rank must have still the courtesy because the excuse me, because of the younger one is holding higher position. So still that is courtesy. It doesn't mean that if you are older, then you are having excuse me, you are having low rank, and then the person whom you talk is younger but having higher rank. It doesn't mean that he will prevail. He will prevail on it. But you, as the older one but having lower rank, you must address the person in appropriate address. Okay, that is also a courtesy. Okay, that is courtesy. But of course, there are young officers, lieutenants, that sometimes they address their lower rank people as sir also. That is also a courtesy on the higher rank to the lower rank. Okay, so I hope that you understand about the courtesy. Well, sir, how to address those ladies in the military? Babae sa military. Well, they address it also as ma'am, as lieutenant, captain. It is always according to the rank. Sir, if I address him ma'am or sir, and they are lieutenants or colonels or majors, something like that, am I not violating any rule? No, because the address ma'am and sir is a very good address. That is one way of showing courtesy also to other. Okay, so that is military courtesy. Now, the other one is the military discipline. Now, do we have different discipline with civilian people? Yes, of course. We have a very big gap with the discipline of civilian people. For military is really different. For they have undergone training. They have many customs and traditions. It's really different from the civilian. You can determine the discipline of civilian and that of military. It is really different. Okay. But of course, the discipline of civilian is also very good as military also. Uh, there is no gap on good or bad, but still the discipline of military is really unique if you compare it to the civilian. Why I know it? Because I am also a member of the Philippine Army. I am a captain of Philippine Army. I undergo also trainings, of course, in Camp to Abat. And then I have that different training also in military. That's why I know it. So uh, uh, I will be comparing the discipline of the military and the civilian is really different and away, okay, away. But still, as I said well back, the discipline of military and that of civilian is still very good and acceptable, of course. Now, let's continue with the military discipline. It says here that excuse me, state of order and obedience, okay? Existing within a command. Itong tinatawag nating military discipline, it is always embodied with a command, okay? Sabi nga nila in military, obey first before you complain. So there is no way of complaining. But it's up to a person. Of course, if the command is good, well, you obey. Okay? So, my dear friends, this is the lecture on the military courtesy. Once again, do not forget to subscribe and share and always click the button. Okay? Thank you very much and good day.